Okay, number one, we just have some multiplication. So remember when we're multiplying here, we're going to take our exponents and just add them. Now, 2 and 4 here, those aren't exponents. We're just going to multiply that, and then we'll get there 2 times 4 is just going to give me 8 there. Now, I've got x to the 1/3 times x to the 3/5. So again, when we're multiplying, we're going to take the exponents and we're going to add them. So to be able to add 1/3 and 3/5 there, we have to find a common denominator. So let's note our common denominator here would be 15. Okay, 3 times 5 would be 15. 1 times 5 is 5. And then 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 3 would be 9. So 5 and 9 there, that would give me 14 over 15. So now my answer here is going to be 8x to the 14 over 15th power. Okay, on number 2, now we're raising a power to a power here. Now, since both of these, or this 1/2 is going to apply to both of these, it's going to be better if we kind of split this up. Now, the other thing that we're going to do when we raise a number to with a rational exponent, or exponent that's a fraction, it's best to write this number with an exponent. So I'm going to write 36 as 6 squared. So I'm going to have 6 squared to the 1/2, and there again, that's kind of what our cheat sheet is there for, is to help us do stuff like that. And then I'm going to raise x to the -8th power to the 1/2, and now what I'll be able to do is cancel out my rational exponent. So the 2's, because I'm doing a power to a power, I can multiply. Those 2's will cancel, and 6 to the 1st is just 6. On this one, we can get 2 going into 8 here 4 times, so that'll leave us with 6x to the -4th power. Now we can't leave our answer like this. We cannot have a negative exponent, so we choose our elevator rule here and move it to the bottom and make it a positive exponent. And notice 6 was not an exponent, it was a negative, so I left it alone. Okay, on number 3, now this is another power to a power thing here, but here again, what we're going to do, so when we multiply our powers to powers, we're going to write this, or these two things, separately to the -4th power. Okay, now, so we can get this to cancel here. We could say 2 is going to go to 4 2 times. So now this will leave me with x to the -2 power. And then on my y's, notice nothing's going to cancel out. So all I just have to do is multiply my numerators here, which is -3 times -4. It's going to be +12. And then 5 times 1 would be 5. So we get y to the, I was going to say negative, that's wrong, +12 5ths power. Now I can't leave this negative, just like in the last one. We'll just move it to the denominator and make it positive there. Okay, on number 4, now again we're just doing something to a power of 2. Okay, now -3 squared, I don't really have to separate this one out. -3 squared is just 9. Now, as far as my -3/8 and then squared, what I can do here, again, it's a power to a power, so I can multiply, and since I'm multiplying fractions, I can cancel that out there. 2 will go into 8 4 times, so now that's going to leave me with 9 and then x to the -3/4 power. Now, again, we have to write that with a positive exponent, so we're going to write it as 9 over x to the 3/4 power. Okay, on number 5, now we're doing a power to a power this time, but now we've got a quotient right here to a power. So again, we're going to write this where these are both separately here raised to the negative 16th power. And that way I can cancel out much easier. It's a lot easier to see what I'm doing there when I do them separately. Now here we'll get that 4 will go into 16 4 times, and so now we've got negative 1 times negative 4, so that'll be a positive 4x to the positive 4th power. Now down here we can say 8 will go into 16 2 times, so we get 3 left over there. 3 times negative 2 would be negative 6. Now there again, I can't have this negative exponent right here, so it's in the denominator. Okay, so I'm not going to move it to the denominator because it's already there. So if it's negative in the denominator, we're going to move it up to the numerator. And notice the 4 was positive, so I'm leaving it alone. So I move it y to the 6th up to the numerator. Okay, on number 6, now we're dividing here with our common base. So remember, with division, we have to take the exponents and subtract them there. So I'm going to do 2/3 here minus 1/5. Okay, so my common denominator would be 15. So let's see, that's going to be 10/15, and then this would be negative 3/15. So 10/15 minus 3/15 is 7/15. So now this will be x to the 7/15 power there. Okay, on number 7. Okay, another division problem. Now this time we got some coefficients. Now 4 and 6 are just coefficients, they're not exponents. So we're just going to reduce that. 4/6 would reduce to 2/3. Now, as far as my exponents, let's recall, just like the last problem, we subtract the exponents. So when I'm subtracting, just like adding, I have to get a common denominator. So I have negative 1/2 minus 4/5. Okay, my common denominator is going to be 10 there. So let's see, that's going to be negative 5/10. And then this would be negative 8/10. So negative 5/10 and negative 8/10 would be negative 13/10. Okay, so we'll get 2x to the negative, it doesn't look too good there, negative 13/10. Now, we can't leave it as negative, so we're going to move that to the denominator. So it'll be 2/3 x to the 13/10 power there. Okay, on number 8, we're back to multiplication. So the 4 and the 6, those are just coefficients. We're going to multiply those, and that gives me 24. Now, with our exponents, remember when we're multiplying, we're going to take these exponents and we're going to add them. So I'm going to add negative 1/2 plus 4/5. There, of course, I need a common denominator again. So that'll be negative 5/10, and then this will be 8/10. Negative 5/10 and 8/10 would be 3/10. So now we got our answer here is 24 x to the 3/10 power. Okay, number 9, another division here. So I'm going to subtract my exponents. Now, so again, we need a common denominator, and this is kind of nice. They already have a common denominator, but this is negative down here, so this would really be 5/3. If I said minus a negative, because I'm supposed to subtract my exponents, if I say minus a negative, that would really be plus 2/3. So 5/3 and 2/3 here would be 7/3. So this is x to the positive 7/3 power. Okay, on number 10, I'm doing some division. So we're going to subtract again here. So this is going to be negative 3/4. Now here again, we're going to minus a negative. So that's going to be plus 1/4. So negative 3/4 plus 1/4 would be negative 2/4 there. Of course, negative 2/4, I need to put that in lowest terms.